Hello, welcome to the lunch edition of NBC News, and you are with me, Abale Chingambe. Our top stories. President Mutharika pardons 222 prisoners as part of the festive celebrations. Government assures of speedy rehabilitation of roads damaged by heavy rains as Roads Authority opens temporary crossing at Mpasazi Bridge in Kasungu. And in sports, Netball Association of Malawi describes the just ended year as a mixed bag. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has pardoned 222 inmates as part of the 2025 Christmas and New Year festive celebrations. The pardoned include convicted prisoners who have served half of their sentences, the elderly, females, and those who are chronically ill. In a statement signed by Secretary for Homeland Security Linda Moyo, President Mutharika has also granted general amnesty to convicted prisoners serving determinate sentences as an act of clemency during the festive season. The development will see their sentences being reduced by 9 months, leading to a 15% reduction in prison population by 2,000 to rather 640. Moving on to our next story, Nkosi Yamakosi Mbera V says peaceful coexistence is the foundation of any country's economic and socio-economic development. The Mzimba Ngoni Paramount said this at his headquarters, Edingeni in Mzimba, during a New Year party he held. George Nkandawere reports from Mzimba.
The annual event brought together traditional leaders, elders, youths and community members in a spirit of unity and cultural pride. The celebrations were marked by traditional dances, including Ingoma, as performers showcased Ngoni culture through songs, dances, and traditional attire. Chiwoda Tumbuka dance was also performed, symbolizing unity and coexistence with other ethnic groups. Nkosi Yamakosi Mbera V presided over the event, exchanging New Year greetings with his people and emphasizing the importance of peace, respect for tradition, and community development. The Ngoni chief also called on his subjects to work in their fields to avert hunger in the coming season.
It's a farming season, just to encourage them to do the needful. As you are aware, government has always come in with affordable inputs. This year we're looking at a bag of fertilizer being put at 10,000. So just to encourage the people that those beneficiaries that are able to get such inputs, put them to good use so that then we avert the hunger that might come in future.
Guest at the event, Japi Muhango, who is also Minister of Lands, said as government, they are happy that chiefs continue supporting government plans in ending hunger in the country.
I would like, therefore, to commend him for encouraging people of Mzimba, and therefore, by extension, all Malawians, to intensify, to work very hard in our various fields, so that we produce enough for our consumption, as well as some, surplus that can be exported. And that is the very core that is coming from the president. If you listened to New Year's message from the president, he mentioned the same things.
Among those present at the event, including DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Mzomera Ngwira, traditional and religious leaders, among others. Muhango, who is also DPP Vice President for the North, while at the event paid a courtesy greeting to the Queen Mother Gogo Mbite and Grandmother to His Majesty Gogo Svande at the Royal Palace. George Nkandawire, NBC, Mzimba.
The maize that government purchased from Zambia has started arriving in the country following the completion of all necessary procedures to facilitate the seamless transportation of the maize to Malawi. Malawi government purchased 200,000 metric tons of maize, which will be distributed to households affected by floods, as well as some of the 4 million people identified by the Malawi Vulnerability Assessment Committee, MVAC. Nkhani reports.
In October 2025, governments of Malawi and Zambia signed a maize procurement deal worth about 135 billion kwacha. Under the deal, Zambia committed to supply 200,000 metric tons of maize to Malawi to help address the country's food shortage. Malawi government purchased 200,000 metric tons of maize in response to the Malawi Vulnerability Assessment Committee report, which shows that 4 million people will need food assistance from now until March 2026. Now, after weeks of analyzing export facilitation processes, the Zambian government has started dispatching the commodity to Malawi, and first trucks carrying the first consignment of maize left Chipata for Malawi on Wednesday. Some trucks were still being loaded with maize in Chipata, with a total of 103,000 metric tons of maize expected to arrive in Malawi in this initial phase. Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Mbilizi, and her Zambian counterpart, Ruben Ntolopili, saw off the trucks in Chipata, Zambia.
It was a long process. As you are aware, the funds that we are using now were from the World Bank, so we had to follow a few procurement processes, and that took some time. But now, here we are, and I don't think we are very late. We are still on time, because this program, the lean period maize distribution, will end in March, so we are still there.
Mbilizi also said the maize will be distributed to families that have been affected by floods across the country.
This maize is relief maize, and it's for emergency purposes. Firstly, for the 4 million Malawians that were declared to be at a very high risk of hunger. And we also have had a declaration by DODMA that almost 38,000 families have been affected by floods this year, just in the month of January. So this maize will also cater for those families to make sure that they don't suffer from hunger, because they have lost their fields, they have lost whatever they had in their homes.
Zambia's Minister of Agriculture, Ruben Ntolopili, said the Zambian government has followed all necessary procedures and that there will be seamless movement and transportation of 200,000 metric tons of maize to Malawi. Both ministers urged the personnel manning the border post to discharge their duties with efficiency, integrity and urgency for the relief maize to reach the targeted beneficiaries as planned. Yamiganisi, MPC News, Chipata, Zambia.
Government has assured people affected by floods and are sheltered in camps of steady supply of relief items and other necessities. Minister of Transport Feston Kauba, whose ministry is coordinating the disaster response, gave the assurance during the handover of relief items to affected people in traditional authority Kalimanjira in Kota. He said government shares the burden they face and is working tirelessly to ensure the safety and timely rescue of people in the affected areas. Catherine Banda has more.
Malawi has been receiving heavy rains in some parts of the country, which have rendered some families homeless and disrupted their road networks. Currently, Kota district is hosting over 30,800 affected people from 857 households that are currently living in 8 camps within the district. Minister of Transport Feston Kauba, whose ministry is coordinating the disaster activities, described the situation as dire and devastating to both the affected people and to the nation. Handing over the relief items at Shididi camp in Kota, Kauba said government will ensure that the affected people are provided for, despite the road network situation in the district.
It has been very difficult to move supplies to reach these people. But finally that we are here, and finally that we are here to hand over some of these commodities It has pleased His Excellency the President, and it's also pleasing that we have finally made it to deliver these commodities, whilst we are continuing to explore other means and ways of moving supplies, not only to this camp, but all to the affected camps within this district of Nkhotakota, as well as other districts and areas that have been affected by these floods.
On his part, Senior Group Village Head Chopela, who is currently living at the camp, thanked the government for the timely provision of the relief items.
We are so grateful to the government for rescuing people from the area which has been heavily affected by the floods. Our houses have collapsed, our farms washed away, and all our assets destroyed.
In its 29 December 2025 report, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs said over 7,000 households have been affected by the rains that fell from 22 to 28 December 2025. This has touched a population of over 32,000, according to the report. Catherine Banda, MBC News, Nkhotakota.
In a related development, government has assured Malawians that it will rehabilitate the entire damaged road infrastructure, which has rendered parts of the country unreachable. Minister of Transport Feston Kauba said this when he inspected the M1 road, which has been cut at Mpasazi in Kasungu due to persistent rains. The minister says government has engaged contractors to ensure they fix the damage and make the roads passable for the continuity of economic activities. Beatrice Mape reports.
The minister started by inspecting the extent of damage the rains have caused on M1 road at Mpasazi in Kasungu. Movement of goods and services as well as mobility of people has been affected. The situation is similar on the M5 road from Benga to Kasitu, as well as M18 Nkhotakota Kasungu road. Speaking after inspecting the damage at Mpasazi Bridge in Kasungu, Minister of Transport Feston Kauba says government is aware of the effect this has had on people and the economy. The minister says government has engaged contractors who are already constructing temporary structures while waiting for a permanent solution.
As government, we've already moved in through the Roads Authority to engage the contractors that was already on this site as part of the Lilongwe-Karonga road construction. So Motor Angel was quickly engaged to reconstruct the damaged part of this bridge as well as damaged part of this road. I'm happy on behalf of the government of Malawi to see that Motor Angel has already mobilized equipment from their campsite.
Chief Executive Officer at Roads Authority Ameo Champiti says construction of the temporary structures will depend on weather conditions. He has clarified that the majority of the damaged places are still flooded and construction will commence once waters have gone down. He has also assured Malawians that maintenance will be done with haste to reinstate operations.
Government is committed to ensure that mobility and connectivity is restored. So, and with that commitment, we are assured that resources will be made available for the work that is supposed to be done.
Senior Chief Mpoma of Kasungu has commended government for the prompt response. He has expressed optimism that once the damages are fixed, economic activities will resume.
We have been affected a lot. Mobility is a challenge now. Movement of goods and services has stopped. We are happy that government has responded swiftly and this will be fixed. This road is important to the country's economy. Imports and exports use this road.
Some parts of the M1, M5 and M18 roads were damaged following persistent rains which have been falling in the central region. Weather forecasts suggest this may be the case most of this week. Beatrice Mwape, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Roads Authority has announced that heavy goods vehicles are now permitted to use the temporary crossing at Mpasazi Bridge on the M1 road following successful trial runs that confirmed the structure's load-bearing capacity. In a public notice signed by Roads Authority Chief Executive Officer Engineer Ameo Champeti, the authority said construction of backfills at the temporary crossing has been completed alongside drainage works aimed at ensuring effective water flow and protecting the structure. The statement further indicates that controlled trial runs were conducted using a limited number of buses, loaded tipper trucks and fuel tankers. However, the authority noted that remedial works on the running surface are still ongoing due to wet ground conditions, with some sections remaining slippery. You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Abale Chingambe. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika pardons 222 prisoners as part of the festive celebrations. Government assures of speedy rehabilitation of roads damaged by heavy rains as Roads Authority opens temporary crossing at Mpasazi Bridge in Kasungu. And in sports, Netball Association of Malawi describes the just ended year as a mixed bag. Welcome back. The Department of Immigration and Citizenship Services has deported over 1,400 illegal immigrants between December 2024 and November 2025, following intensified enforcement operations. Pascali Zulu, the department's National Public Relations Officer, said that 1,560 foreign nationals did not have proper documentation during that time, and of those, 1,418 were sent back to their home countries. He says the results reflect improved coordination, reduced case backlogs and sustained efforts to enforce immigration laws, safeguard national security and promote orderly migration.
I'm glad to indicate that as a department, we have recorded a significant success in the apprehension and deportation of irregular migrants here in Malawi. Our records from November 2024 to date, we have managed to apprehend a total number of 1,560 foreign nationals. Of this total number, we have managed to repatriate and deport a total number of 1,418. And the remaining ones they are still waiting for other judicial processes. This is a very good number in terms of the statistics that we've had as a department, and a very big hand to the officers for the job well done. We would also commend other key stakeholders, more especially police and NIS and other civil agencies, for the support they have rendered to the department to ensure that we manage and do this apprehension of these irregular migrants in Malawi. We should also send a very big thank you to the general public for the tips that are given to us, because we understand that this time around the general public are even 100% aware that any lapse in our national security has got consequences in national security and socio-economic development of the country. In this regard, we should also commend them for the efforts that they have done in ensuring that the tips that they have given to us as a department has beared fruits. So moving forward in the year 2026, they should also expect more, and we should also appeal to them that the support they have lent to the department should also be the same moving forward. And thank you so much.
Central West Regional Police says it has recorded an increase in murder cases by 6% in the year 2025. According to CWR, a total of 272 murder cases were recorded in 11 months of 2025 compared to 256 cases that were recorded in 2024 during the same period. Speaking during the CWR Police Christmas and New Year celebrations in Lilongwe, the region's Deputy Commissioner Mavuto Mbobo said the region also recorded about 1,298 traffic accidents in 2025, where 259 lives were lost. Catherine Panda has more.
According to Central West Region Police Deputy Commissioner Mavuto Mbobo, cases of mob justice remain a big challenge within the region, as in the 11 months of 2025, 35 people were killed as a result of mob justice. Mbobo said moving forward, they will engage other criminal system stakeholders for expedition of some court cases to curb mob justice. Additionally, Mbobo said the region has managed to reduce the traffic accidents from 1,417 in the 11 months of 2024 to 1,298 the same period in 2025. He said despite the decrease, the lives lost through road accidents increased to 259 from 237 same period in 2024. He, however, said the Central West Region Police has managed to reduce the crime rate by 15% and pledged to continue discharging their duties professionally in ensuring that all people are protected.
In terms of crime, we have reduced with 18%, and even though we have reduced, but we have got murder cases that has been increased. And in addition to that, we have also recorded a number of mob justice and the vandalism of ESCOM equipment.
On his part, Assistant Commissioner of Police Joseph Mutupa, who represented the Police Inspector General, commended the crime reduction, saying it signifies a strong partnership with various stakeholders. Furthermore, Mutupa urged police officers to remain vigilant and work extra hard, pointing out suicide cases, sexual abuse cases, fatal accidents and theft that remain a challenge. Catherine Banda, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Motorbike and Cycle Owners Association has stressed the need to empower youths in the country with entrepreneurial skills to help them contribute to Malawi's economic development. The association's General Secretary, William Chiwale, said the association, together with the Vision for Development Youth Organization, plan to roll out youth-focused programs aimed at equipping young people with practical skills in various fields. These include motorbike mechanics, hotel management, and other vocational skills. Nkhani reports.
As one way of complementing government efforts on youth empowerment in order for them to contribute to national economy, the two organizations, Motorbike and Cycle Owners Association, MBCOA, and Vision for Development Youth Organization based in Vumbwe, Tyolo, have joined hands to empower local youths in different skilled labor. General Secretary for MBCOA, who is also Acting Business Development Manager for VDYO, William Chiwale, explained that the initiative targets local youths and encourages them to form cooperatives, which will help them create employment for themselves, access loans, and maximize benefits from the business they established after training.
What if we have this setup whereby our young stars, no matter whatever class, and we are not limiting them to say you should not continue with your education, because after being able to earn a living and sustain their lives, either as family men, as the business persons, they should be able to upgrade themselves. And besides that, we are looking at a scenario where these young people should be able to say, no, even before I got my degree, I was able to earn 900,000 in a month or 500,000 in a month, because I belong to a cooperative which Vision for Youth Development created for me, and this is the business that I have been in. So, that kind of a person, even if he is the farmer qualified with a degree or whatsoever, he will be able to decide, do I want to be employed in this company and being paid 400,000 in a month? You see, so entrepreneurship is part of what we are trying to create among the youth, and that is one of the priorities that the Vision for Development and the Motorbike and the Motorbike and Cycle Association we are looking at, because we know whoever is being involved in motor riding on the road They are the youth.
He added that the program aims to reach 1,600 youths from Kyolo in 2026, in addition to other youths from different parts of the country. Commenting on the initiative, Frank Mosiwa, a Kabaza motorcycle taxi operator from Kyolo district, said he is ready to benefit from the program. He noted that such skills development initiatives will help young people become more reliable members of society and actively contribute to the government's Malawi 2063 development agenda. For MBC News in Kyolo, this is Yohane Chizomora.
And now in sports, Netball Association of Malawi NAM has described the just ended year as a mixed bag. During the year, the country hosted the Africa Netball Cup and sealed a number of sponsorship bills. Foster Maulidi recaps the year.
After taking office in late 2024, the new interim NAM committee, led by Vitumbiko Gubuduza, promised to restore Malawi's netball to its former glory. With hope and confidence, the new leadership quickly won the support of fans and corporate partners. This saw the association enter 2025 with renewed energy under the Rebuilding the Game theme. The benefits of the new agenda were seen clearly in the year as several sponsors came on board to support Malawi netball. The Nico Group led the way with a 1 billion kwacha 3-year sponsorship. Mukuru followed with a 675 million kwacha package. FDH Bank added momentum with a landmark 1.2 billion kwacha sponsorship, while Spark Systems joined with a 30 million kwacha deal to develop NAM's website and improve digital engagements. These achievements helped the interim committee secure a full mandate at the annual general convention on 23 August 2025. Gubuduza was elected unopposed as president, while Yamika Nkauma retained the general secretary position after defeating Ntombeza Natindwa. The year was filled with hope, national team activities, and local competitions, leading to the major highlight, Malawi hosting the 2025 Africa Netball Cup. However, challenges emerged. Just days before the tournament, internal disagreements rocked NAM, forcing the president to resign. The tournament also ended in disappointment as Malawi finished 4th in the women's category and 7th in the men's competition. Despite the setbacks, NAM General Secretary Yamika Nkauma says 2025 was a productive year and the challenges will help strengthen the rebuilding process going into 2026.
Let me take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors, including the government, for coming in 2025. We are happy to say that every problem that we have encountered, they help us to solve the problems. This is the end of year 2025 and our focus, let's focus on 2026.
As the 2025 season closes and 2026 begins, questions remain. Will Malawi Netball move in the right direction, and what lies ahead for the association's leadership? With unity, commitment, and clear vision, the Rebuilding the Game drive still offers hope. While 2025 laid the foundation, 2026 will determine how strong the pillars will be. Foster Maulidi, MBC Sport.
And that's it from our newsroom. You've been with me, Abale. Thanks for watching and good afternoon.
This festive season, Malawi comes alive with joy and celebration. And ADMARC is here to support every